Where are my Londoners at? I've lived in London 15 years. 15 years I've been in London. What a fantastic place. When I first moved to London, I moved to South London. My friend said to me, be careful, mate. In South London, bruv, yeah? They'll fuck you up, yeah, South London, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I'll move to Richmond, and they were lovely. If anything, I mugged them. Do you know what I mean? But it's nice to have a nice mix of people in. We've got some older people. See some young guys, there's some young people in. We've got some Gen Zs. Welcome. They can't cheer too loud because of their anxiety. I'm triggered. I'm going to hide. They're good people. I'm jealous of you. I mean, I'm a millennial. I don't even know what clothes to wear anymore. I used to have the skinny jean. Do you remember that? What do you wear? You know what I mean? I see the Gen Zers and they've got their cargo pants. That's what the young guys wear, cargo pants. They've got so many pockets. You know, it's for all their medication. And as a millennial, I'm like, phone, wallet, keys. They're like anxiety, ADHD, house keys, can't afford them, antidepressants. No, but I get it. Like, I'm not taking the mick. Like, young people in this room, of course you've got anxiety. Do you know what I mean? You've got legitimate things to be anxious about. You're young people. You know, I'm a millennial. I've got anxieties as well. They're not as big, but hey, my feelings are valid, okay? Okay? Check your privilege at the door. Thank you very much. Yes, Gen Zers are anxious about by the age of 40. They're all going to have to swim to work due to global warming. We get it. I've got to go to the dentist every now and again, okay? Yeah, the dentist. I can't go. I'm too anxious about it. I'm not scared of drills or any of that. I just can't be left in a room on my own with a man as I get slowly reclined into the therapy position and then lie to him about how much sugar I've had. Now, the reason I can't go to the dentist, and please tell me this isn't just me, is every time I go to the dentist, and whenever the dentist puts anything in my mouth, please say this isn't just me, but when anything enters my mouth at the dentist, my tongue starts to behave like a professional porn star. What the... Trying to deep throat his drill. Like I'm possessed. Your mother sucks cocks in hell. And I salivate too much as well, so that's a genuine thing. The last time I went to the dentist, I needed 4 fillings. During the second filling, I was salivating so much, the dentist had to send for a second woman with another suction hose. I got double suckies that day. 2 suction hoses and a drill in my mouth at the same time. My tongue was like, woo, gangbang.
American consumerism is based on just taking out late-night ads and pretending that you're mentally deficient. Just screaming at the top of your voice. Come on down to Wally's World of Mortgages. That's right, we've got mortgages. I'm crazy. The boss left with the keys. I'm by the safe. I don't even work here. We're going to give you a mortgage. Even if you never heard of the word mortgage, come on down here, we're going to give you one. Can't pay us back, won't pay us back, we don't give a shit. Even if you're a trailer park crack whore popping babies out of your womb like self-rising biscuits, come on down here now, you're a homeowner. People will take advantage of that guy. He seems nuts. It's the Ad Crunch Spectacular, whole infomercial devoted to the biggest piece of shit ever perpetrated on the public. It's the Ad Crunch Spectacular. You can have a washboard stomach in 12. Who needs a washboard stomach? Gonna play hillbilly bluegrass music right off your stomach there? It's shit! Hi, I'm Chuck Norris. I used to pummel vaguely Middle Eastern looking guys for a living. Now I'm selling this piece of shit Velcro nailed to an old ski. Flip it over, it's a canoe. Turn it inside out, it's a lady's evening dress. It's shit! You can have it by tomorrow. Of course you can, because it's a big piece of shit. That's what we do in America. We make lots of crap, but we deliver it really, really fast. Good things come to those who wait, but shit pretty much shows up right away, doesn't it? Pick picked up the phone. I like the ab crunch, bing bong. That was fast. Wacka, 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 wacka. I'd love to tell you things are better in America, ladies and gentlemen, but, you know, I don't really know. It's, we have a fantastic president, but most Americans just want to see his birth certificate. Show us your birth certificate, Obama. Because, you know, I know there was I watched the elections here, and I kind of watched them. I kept an eye on them. I didn't get the full brunt of it. Basically, I left the country for a while. Gordon Brown was in charge. I came back. Now, apparently, the country's being led by 2 gay antiques dealers. I don't know how that happened. But at least they're getting along. As Americans, let me explain it to you. There's 2 parties in America. You probably know this. There's Republicans and Democrats. The Republicans are called the red states. Democrats are the blue states. The blue states are generally either on the West Coast or on the Atlantic seaboard. So basically, Democrat is anyone who's seen water. So if you go to America, find a Republican and take him to the beach. And even the Republicans hate each other now. So they have a splinter group called the Teabaggers, the Tea Party, Teabaggers, whose leader, of course, is Sarah Palin, future presidential candidate, who spent 2 years governing 8,000 square miles of snow and would occasionally nip out at lunch to blow the head off a moose from 300 yards away. That's presidential material. Another woman who's moved to the forefront, running for a senator from Delaware named Christine O'Donnell, who's running on a platform of anti-masturbation. She actually wants to make masturbation illegal. I give that law 6 minutes. Because the Bible says it's wrong. These are exact words. Well, if my husband has figured out how to please himself, why am I in the picture? I got news for you. You're not. No man ever whacked one out of the ballpark thinking of his wife, ladies and gentlemen. You'd be thinking of anything. You'd be thinking of a 300-pound Bavarian milkmaid strapped over a barrel, or you banger with a kayak paddle wearing a Burger King paper crown and making her call you Mr. King Big Daddy Spanky Bottom. As you're about to shoot a ropey parabola of man jizz onto her ham hock buttocks, David Hasselhoff walks in dressed as a Luftwaffe pilot and says you've got a tax refund coming. And if that's wrong, I don't want to be right.
Tell me, does anyone here own a cat? Yeah. Your houses stink. Someone's got to tell them. Some people like cats, some people don't. I was reading the other day, apparently the Pope, he's a cataholic. Catholic. I've had an interesting job recently. I pretended to be a Spanish dentist. Thanks, that doesn't normally work. They said about me that I was too immature to be a father, but when I saw the first few seconds of my son's life, I thought to myself, he's naked. When my daughter was born, she had jaundice, so there she was, small, round, and yellow. We called her Melanie. My parents came up last weekend because I keep them in the cellar. That's not true. I don't know who they are. See, when I was young, I used to walk through the front door. I was hit by roast beef and Yorkshire pudding, open the airing cupboard, spaghetti bolognese all over me. We literally didn't know where the next meal was coming from. My grandparents, their names are Pearl and Dean. Of course, we just know them as Gran and Grandpapa, Papa, 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 Papa. Any students here? Your houses stink. Someone's got to tell them. Don't talk to me about unemployment. I come from a tiny fishing village in Derbyshire. I work... It's not near the sea.
I was in France a couple of years ago. Had to stop to use the loo at a little service station by the road. I knew it wasn't going to be a 5-star experience from the moment I walked in there. The lady in the kiosk was eating a pig's trotter with her one remaining tooth. Like watching a chipmunk try to eat a piece of corn on the cob. I approached her, and of course, as a proud Remainer, I said to her in my best French, "Où est le bug?" She went, "It's round the back. It is round the back." So I went round the back, and there it was, a little shed. I thought, here we go. And I opened the door. Voila! Squatty potty! Throw up, France! Anyway, there was nowhere else to go, so I had to go in. I had to use it. So I went in and I closed the door, and it was brilliant because somebody had attached a rope to the back of the door. So you could essentially abseil down into the squatting potty. It's a Centre Parks activity right there, isn't it? You'd pay for that. Bungee jump, brilliant. I did notice I was getting a little bit more nervous as a traveller on recent flights I've taken. In your 20s, you don't care, do you? You're like that, I'll live forever, me. I'm going to live forever. As you get older, you start to really pay attention to the safety announcements on planes. It becomes more urgent. You're more aware of your own mortality. You know, they'll start the announcement. I will definitely pay attention, absolutely pay attention. The glasses go on, the headphones come off. Book goes down, notebook comes up. I'm like, oh. Last flight I was on, it got to that point, we've all heard it 1,000 times. They put the little life jacket on, right? You put the little life jacket on, and she said, and of course, in the event of landing on water, there is a whistle to attract attention. In the event of landing on water, there is a whistle. A whistle to attract attention. Now, I think for the first time in my life, I really took in that whistle. The fabric of that whistle, if you will, the being of that whistle, the ergonomics of that whistle. There is a whistle to attract attention. My brain had the very helpful thought. It thought, well, if we have landed on water, we have essentially fallen out of the sky from 30 to 40,000 feet in a not insignificant metal tube that may or may not be on fire. If that hasn't attracted attention, if everybody in the surrounding area has managed not to notice, and you are then reliant on... I got this.
Comparison changed. since I was small. Because when I had a pimple on my nose, I wasn't going to school for 2 days. And apparently now, if you got balls the size of a space hopper or labia like elephant's ears, you go on TV and show everybody. That's... What's that? Oh, I'm mortified. Oh. Don't look. Get a close-up. I'm mortified. We've basically lost our sense of collective shame. That's kind of what's happened, isn't it? It's like I'm totally confused. When I get a girl's phone number now, I don't know whether to, call her and ask her to dinner or just text her a picture of me cock. It's... When did that become a chat-up line? That's what I want to know. Right? The day that a man had the technical ability to send a picture of his penis to another woman, that's the day romance died for me. It really is. Who knows? Maybe that's what Alexander Graham Bell had in mind all those years ago, back in 1876 in his Boston laboratory when he invented the telephone. Alexander, to be able to speak to another person by means of an electrical cable in another room is the future. No. The future is that one day footballers will communicate with prostitutes solely by this device. By texting pictures of their penises. Or peni. Or whatever the plural for penises is. Oh, footballers. I tell you what, I feel sorry for George Best. That's who I felt sorry for. Could you imagine the damage that George Best would have done with a mobile phone, eh? There wouldn't have been a woman safe. If George had wanted to send a picture of his cock, he would have had to call up David Bailey, organise a photo shoot in the kitchen, take the film down to Boots the chemist, find out the girl's address, and then hand-deliver it in an A4 brown envelope with "Do Not Bend" put on the front. That's... Technology has ruined romance. We're in contact 24 hours a day. We never have to say goodbye. There's no adieu. There's no farewell. There's no when will I see you again. All the love songs have been ruined. I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again, but I'll Skype you. It doesn't work. No one hears it through the grapevine anymore. I bet you're wondering how I knew. Well, actually, I updated my Facebook status. So, I drove all night to get to you. You should have just texted me a picture of your cock and saved the petrol money. I love that song. I drove all night, crept in your room. Is that all right? No, Roy, that's not all right. That's not even right if you're Dominic Strauss-Kahn.
I went out recently on a shopping expedition to buy 1 carrot. Right, that was all I wanted, a single carrot. My wife was cooking. She wasn't just cooking that. She had a recipe of which that was a component. She wasn't just going to cook the carrot. There you are, like an ice lolly. It was more ambitious. And I tend to, she tends to do most of the cooking. I'm aware some people are thinking, I doubt he's got a wife. I bloody have. There's no time to prove it, but just take my word for it. There we are. I own a woman. So she, you can't say that these days, can you? Anyway, so to get onto more politically correct ground, my wife does all the cooking. Actually, well, it's actually true. I pretty much let my wife cook, but purely because it's a just sensible distribution of skills. My wife is a good cook, and I'm very poor at it. So my wife tends to do the cooking. I think it's quite an enlightened attitude, I think these days cooking tends to be quite a sort of testosterone-dominated field. It's all your Gordon Ramsay, Marco Pierre, all these people, Jamie Oliver. It's all men. I think someone should be modern enough to say, let's get women cooking. Let's be 21st century about this. They've got the same rights as we have in the kitchen. So my wife sent me out to a dangerous gag. No, I wouldn't clap that. That's sort of more clever than funny, really. So my wife was cooking, and I'm happy with my role, which is basically, you know, just foraging. But I went to buy this one, I say foraging, it's very much so. Normally, if you go to Tesco, you will lay hands on a carrot. There's no real jeopardy there. Still, I like to pick it up and go, you got it, you know. But actually, well, this is my point. It was surprisingly hard to buy a bloody carrot, right, for a start. So I took it to the till. This is all I was buying, one carrot. First of all, this lady tried to put it in a bag for me, and I always try, you know, to not take a bag if I don't need one for environmental reasons, but they're furious. You'll have tried doing this. If you say, I don't need a bag, they look at you like, how dare you, how dare you? This woman she said, what are you going to do? I was like, well, I don't want to appear cocky here, but I've got two hands, there's only one carrot. I think I will nail this. I'm almost certain I'll get this home by hook or by crook. What am I going to do? Just walk around with one carrot in a bag? I've got my carrot in a bag. Yeah. How's your day? Yeah, great, just walking with my carrot in its bag. I've got a piece of celery at home and a little bit of Tupperware as well. So, I don't want to make out I'm someone with a repertoire of vegetables that I walk... Anyway, then there's a receipt. She insisted on printing out a bloody receipt, and which meant the till roll had to be changed. Why? Why do you need a receipt for this transaction? All I'm buying is a single carrot. Why would you ever need a receipt? You're not going to bite into it and think, hang on, this is a pear, right? It's basically, buying a carrot can't go that badly wrong. So by now I'm really impatient. I was frothing with impatience. I wanted to get home, see my wife, whether she exists or not. And finally, just when I thought I had finally secured this carrot, as I was walking out, this girl said, excuse me, sorry, before you go, so now I have to listen. I said, yes? She said, did you want to pre-order the Harry Potter DVD? Now, what part of my action so far will give you that impression? I was trying to be polite. I said, sorry? She said, by now she's impatient, like I'm some sort of idiot. Did you want to pre-order the Harry Potter DVD? I mean, no, not really. My aim was to buy a carrot, and I would say I've achieved that modest aim. I mean, if I wanted to buy a Harry Potter DVD, what I'd probably do is go to somewhere like HMV, for example. I'd go to a place where you can buy DVDs. I'd pre-order it. When the time came, I would collect it, I'd take it home, I'd watch it. I wouldn't approach this transaction by going to a supermarket, seizing a carrot from the fruit and veg bit, and then standing there at the checkout thinking she knows what I really want here. She'll gather my true intentions. She knows that this carrot is a sort of metaphor for an orange wand.
The worst one, though, if someone's done something unstrong, we call them a weed. I don't know if there's any gardeners in. Weeds are the strongest bastard I've ever met. There's a weed called Japanese knotweed. You can cut it into 100 little bits, put it inside a plastic bag. It gets back out the plastic bag. This is a plant. It hasn't even got a face. Gets back out the plastic bag, meets back up with its mates, botanical term, gets back down into the ground, re-roots. It's so strong, so powerful, that it breaks up the foundations of buildings and destroys the value of property. Weeds can bring down capitalism, guys. And I'd like to see a pair of gonads do that. I have got no idea if my attempts to gentlify my son are having any impact whatsoever. I have no idea. I've seen one inkling, ever. He was playing with a couple of dinosaurs. He didn't know that I was watching. They were fighting. All his play is violent and fighting. But as the dinosaurs were fighting, I saw this. They were going, rah, 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 rah. And at the end of the fight, they went, goodbye, darling, goodbye. Yes, I did that. But the rest of the time, he's a nightmare. I'm so honest in my comedy about what a handful my son is. I feel like I need to reassure you, like, you know, I do love him. Don't ring anyone. I couldn't love him more. But if anything, that makes it weirder, because you've got this very extreme, very intense love for someone. That makes it more confusing when their behaviour is objectively disgusting. I think it's best summed up in cliches with a 3-year-old, because the cliches are true, so... Genuinely, without a second's thought, I would jump in front of a car for him. But also some days because of him. Because even if you take all of the violence out of the equation, just arguing with somebody that entitled but with no empathy is hard. And usually it starts from the second that you've woken up. I don't know if you've ever even shared a house with a 3-year-old. Normally, when you wake up, their creepy little face is already there. saying something like, I've had a poo. They say anything that means that you have to get up. So once I genuinely got, all the taps are on. And there was one day in particular that I will never forget because of the relentlessness of it. And it did start from the second that we'd woken up. Being eyes open, I was like, good morning, darling. And he was like, it's not morning, it's lunchtime. You're a lizard. I don't like daddy. You're not my best friend. Can I have a knife? Here we go. Come on, come to the kitchen. I don't eat meals anymore, only eat snacks. Can I have a cake? 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 Can I have a cake right now? That is not how you talk to me. Can I have a cake, please? Now I've got to give you a shitting cake. It's not even 7 a.m. That goes in, doesn't it? Brrr. Can I have another cake? Can I have another cake? Can I have another cake? Can I have another cake right now, please? Can I have another cake? Can I have another cake? The thing is, darling, what we've got to learn is that sometimes we want a nice thing, and then we get the nice thing, and we have to think, oh, wasn't it nice to have a nice thing? Doesn't mean we instantly have to have another 4. Can I have 4 cakes? 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 This went on so relentlessly that after a few hours of it, I, a grown-up, said to a 3-year-old I couldn't love more who asks for knives, and I meant it. I said, do you know what? You can have whatever you want. But I swear to you, he went, I don't want whatever I want!
I love this show because it's the only one on TV with no vampires in it. Honestly, everything's got vampires now. All I know is if my daughter and me were vampires, it'd be exactly the same. I'd be texting her at 5 o'clock in the morning, where are you? Sun about to come up, you will explode. She'd be like, I'm in field with pals, drinking dead sheep, leave me alone. She gets home, I'm like, have you seen the state of your coffin, young lady? There's a half-dead naked bloke twitching in the corner. I've told you not to play with your food. So I stared at my coffin, I hate you. She's just mad at me because I ate her boyfriend. Black people in the house say ho. Wow, it's like a 2-pack convention. Brixton's empty. I said that in Winchester once, absolute silence. Not one black guy in the entire place. All right, there was one, all right? He was on the second row going, please don't talk to me, please don't talk to me. Imagine being the only black guy in Winchester, though. Wouldn't that be fantastic? You'd have a license to go up to every black woman you see and go, excuse me, we have to breed. Listen, I've got to tell you this. The BNP had a Christmas disco. This is absolutely true, right? The BNP had a Christmas disco. When the DJ arrived, they all walked out because the DJ was black. The BNP hired a black DJ. Their spokesman said he sounded white on the phone. What, the DJ's got to sound extra black on the phone? Hello, I am the DJ for your Christmas party. My name is King Babatundi Soniade Mandela. My fee is £100, but you can pay me in Buffalo. I think we've come a long way though, right? Because when I first watched television, there were no black people on it at all. If somebody black did come on, people thought there was something wrong with the set. They'd be on the phone to the TV repairman. Hello, there's a dark bloke on my telly. Can you come and get him off? The only black people on television were the black and white minstrels. Remember them? They had black shoe polish all over their faces and these huge white lips. Accurate. My mum would be this close to the screen. Well, it's nice to see some black people on television for a change. But look at them lips. They must be from one of the small islands. I love being a comedian. This is all I can do. Because in my heart, I'm a 16-year-old boy, really, which is great to be a comedian, but not if you're a gynecologist. God, girls, can you imagine me coming into the room? You got your feet in the stirrups. All right, Mrs. Macon, let's have a bloody hell. I can see everything. Do you want some cider? I couldn't be an airline pilot, you know, because you're on your own in the cockpit. I'd have to be a steward out there with the passengers. Put on a bit of a show. People, if we're in a crash, please do not despair. Grab a mask from above your head and suck in lots of air. Whip on your life jacket and tie it very tight. Then stick your hair between your legs and kiss your ass goodnight. Actually, do you know what? Wouldn't mind being a pilot, because everyone's life depends on you. So you can get away with anything, can't you? I mean, who's going to argue with that voice that they do, you know? This is your captain speaking. My name's Brian. How much do you earn? Hope you have an enjoyable flight. Our stewardesses are there to help you, and our stewards are there to show we employ gays.
I was such a fat kid. My mother used to buy bathing suits with blowholes in them. It was just... But my parents... I don't want to go into my childhood here because it's wrong. My parents hated me, okay? We're all going to hear the story, aren't we? My parents hated me too. My parents... All I ever heard growing up is, why can't you be like your cousin Sheila? Why can't you be like your cousin Sheila? Sheila had died at birth. They just... Whenever we would go, like, in front of a street, each parent would take my hand, hold our hand, we're crossing the street, and then they'd swing me into the traffic. They used to say, take candy from strangers. Ask the funny man in the raincoat, does he own a van? It's just... No, I had a very bad childhood, and that's because, and I'm sure none of you give a damn, but I was the only Jewish kid, this is the absolute truth, growing up in an all-Catholic neighborhood. You know what that's? The Irish people. Only Jewish kid in a Catholic neighborhood. You know what that's like? You were all doing Hail Marys, I was doing Hail Murrays. I mean, it was just... No Christmas tree? No Christmas tree. Do you know what that's like when you're the only kid without a Christmas? Because everybody has Christmas trees. And nowadays, it's like, well, we do it for all faiths. That's such bullshit. Yeah, we walk into an office building, and there's a Christmas tree, and there's a menorah. Bullshit. The Christmas tree goes up, 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 up. There's like a little shitty menorah with 2 orange lights that some angry Puerto Ricans lit backwards. I mean, yes. Juan, you lit those lights backwards. Fuck you, you killed our Lord. I mean, it is just... So, I'm at the age where I figure, screw it, I'm gonna have a Christmas tree. I got the biggest Christmas tree I got a 2-story high Christmas tree. I put everything you could think of on that. Up, 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 gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. On the bottom, I got the manger. I got the whole goddamn thing going there. The wise men, the sheep. The only thing is, I have the baby, but I'm Jewish. I got him a nanny. It was just, oh yes. And I redressed Mary. She didn't look good. That stupid thing over her head, come on. I put her in a Chanel suit, Manolo Blahniks, and a Louis Vuitton pocketbook. You're the mother of God, look it. It is just... Am I wrong? If she had looked like that, she would have gotten into the inn. Yes. The point is, it's about looks. Mary, she looked good, she would have done better. Mother Teresa, oh, don't give me, oh. Mother Teresa, if she had looked better, she'd be a saint by now. Was she a bow wow? Yes. Did she need electrolysis? Let's talk to each other here. Even lepers were throwing their fingers at her. Here, get away. Because it is all about looks. This is my message, Great Britain. This is my message. Looks count. Education, looks count. I have no sex appeal, and it has screwed me up for life. Peeping Toms look in my window, pull down the shade. You have no idea. My gynecologist examines me by telephone. It is just...